Hello everybody and welcome to another season of the Welsh Esports League. This is season 11. Chess is back again for its third iteration, and what a fantastic event we've got for you here today. Last season's winner, Ethan RJ for the artists, is the huge favourite yet again. But okay, my name is Fide Master Jonathan Blackburn. We'll have you a rundown of the players and the teams that are involved this season as well. We've just started round one. As always, with the first round, there's always a few technical issues. So hence why we're a little bit late starting today. But welcome to us, and we'll crack onto the games after we've had a look at some of the teams. So if we move on to the groups, we've got two groups yet again, Group A and Group B. Just in case you're wondering how it works, we've got, so because there's 5 in the team, they've got to all play each other. So we're going to have 4 matches, and it's going to be this week and next week where they play the group stages. The top 2 in each group will progress to the championship elimination, and they will be playing in the semi-finals and then the finals to see who's going to come first, second, third, and fourth. The spots 3rd and 4th will progress to the next elimination, and they'll have a semi-final final for spots 5, 6, 7, and 8. And unfortunately, the bottom 2 in each group, they'll be eliminated after next week. We have got some real good stories going on at the moment. First of all, a slightly negative story, but it's not negative in a bad way. 2 long-term players, Bedrada and Bulanov, are not playing this time. And it's not because they don't like the esports. They're going to be joining back next time round. It's just that they know that they're actually flying away to different parts of the world to actually play in over-the-board chess competitions ready for the Olympiad in September, which is obviously the biggest over-the-board event that you can do when playing for Wales. I'll be joining them over there as well as Ethan RJ, who will be playing for the artists. They're trying to get more over-the-board experience. This has left, and probably the biggest story, this has left the Sea Dragons in a little bit of a quandary about what to do, and they have been moving in the transfer market. They have brought in the Welsh Tiger, who has obviously previously represented Dragons RFC. They brought in the Tiger to play for them. Obviously really strong FIDE master, played in the Olympiad last time out as well. So he's a really good addition for the Sea Dragons, and they've really shored them up. But yeah, it really looks like a really close Group A. You've got the artists with Ethan RJ, who won it last season. Big news is that I was expecting him to start tonight, but unfortunately, it sounds like he's been on the plane and he's had to have somebody else step in. So thank you very much to Costa Rica for stepping in to represent the artists. So that means these first 2 matches for the artists, if they're playing both matches, they're going to be without their star player. Could affect the league standings towards the end. Will he make it through to the top 2 and also to compete for those top 2 spots? As it looks like the Welsh Tiger is going to be able to play this week and next week. Really happy with a lot of the new players that have come in. We've got some surprises. Welcome back to the Wizards and Goats of Decode and Lightbringer. Not Against 61 of Tribal Esports. And then a few other players as well. But we do have some new players coming in as well. We've got Singapore Sling, I believe, who's playing for... I have to get there. With a new season, they always change teams on me. I have to make sure I get the right team for it. But we'll have a look at that in a second. And then also we've got a new player who looks like he's got some Indian heritage as well. I'm really excited to see what Devansh Gal has got in his locker. He's going to be playing for... Let me just double check the teams here. So Devansh Gal is playing for Dragons RFC. Going to be one of the favourites, actually, alongside Decode probably in that Group B section. And yeah, Singapore Sling is playing for the Puffins. So that's another strong player there, alongside Jukesy of the Pirates. So Group B is massively wide open. Some new players might actually start to actually go through there. So we're really interested to see what goes on there too. Right, let's cut into the games then and see what's actually happening. And I'm going to double check you might see me looking to the right. I've started some of the games naturally. As always, we always have a few issues. So we're just going to see what's actually happening here. And when they stop their games and they want their round 2 to start, should of course be around about 8 o'clock that we start round 2, but some of them might want to start early. So I might be typing away to do that. So please make sure you entertain yourselves while I do that for it. Okay, so what do we have here? So we currently have the Wolfhounds against Costa Rica. So Costa Rica is actually playing for the artists. So the Wolfhounds has got Fard playing as well, a completely new player. So we've got 2 new players here at this stage. And it looks like we've got checkmate on the board here. Costa Rica of the artists has won that first game. So that's really interesting. To see, let's just click on this actually and just go forwards and backwards just to see who else is playing. Pit Ponies against Tribal Esports. So unfortunately, it looks like Not Against 61 has not quite shown up for this one for Tribal Esports. He has played beforehand, so therefore it looks like it's going to be a bit of a whitewash for the Pit Ponies. And Welsh Wayne coming in new for his first event. Looks like he's going to be able to get a first victory on the board, which is a shame that it's going to be default, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Looking over to Group B, we're probably going to get some more critical matches here. We've got Dragons RFC, so this is the new player, Devanch Gala. Looks like he's picked up a win against Jukesy. Jukesy's Marine of the Pirates is a really good player. Played in the recent tournament over in South Wales International in Bridgend. Actually did some really well. Actually beat Bulanov in an over-the-board game. And I'm a bit afraid of playing Marine, actually, of the Pirates. He's quite a strong player. And here he is losing to new player Devanch Gala. I did call it that he was going to be a strong player. So this is a really contestable Group B match. Let's just have a look at this game. We just click on it and see actually what actually happened. So just go back to the start. And I'm just wondering, is that big enough actually on the screen, or should I click on it a little bit more? Let me just have a little look and see how it's actually coming across there, because that would be quite good. Just have a little look. Oh, there we go. We're a bit bigger for us. There we go. Okay, right. So can I scroll down? How do I scroll down? I can't move it down now. Oh, there we go. Okay, right. Okay, so here we go. So, okay, so we get the standard Italian game with the two knights. Obviously, Black's usually got two main options here. One's Bishop C5, bringing the bishop out to with a strange look on the board there. Knight f6 d3, bishop c5, c3. Okay, bishop b3 from Devanch Gala. So interested to know that he knows a little bit of theory here, which is not unexpected. And the computer doesn't like bishop c2 for some reason, but I mean, I don't mind this. This is still perfectly normal. It's maybe a little bit passive. If you look at where the white pieces are compared to where the black pieces are here, you know, black's pieces are just a little bit further forward. So I would be thinking here that Marine would have been very happy with this kind of start from this opening. Bishop a7 doesn't strike me as the most aggressive move. And he lashes out in the center with d5. This is really good, by the way. This is exactly what Marine should be doing. Taking the center that Devanch Gala has not given. Really hates queen e7. And not quite sure why, though, to be honest, because this is just all sensible stuff. The problem with this pawn structure is that you do get there's a lot of trades actually happening and not much going on. This a3 move, though, really weakened this b3 square. I mean, I'd be really looking to try and somehow get this knight into here or really make use of these kind of light squares that's been weakened by white. But actually, though, you know, there's nothing. The queen may be a bit misplaced on the c5, but it's all very tight at the moment. Oh no! Oh, this is so unlucky. You can see here that Marine of the Pirates, he was actually minus 1.7 ahead on the bar. Now that's probably like you could still class that within the drawing margin, but it's definitely advantage black here, and you can see how he's invaded with knight f4. You know, his pieces are so much further forward, and then just unfortunate, and this is what happens when you got low time. Plays rook d8, and unfortunately, what's this can't be happening. No, it isn't. Is that not like bishop takes rook? What's going on? Is that a free piece? I can't believe it. Free piece was missed. He plays rook d1, and this is that's crazy. So I thought he'd lost because of that blunder. I was expecting it to be captured. So there's mistakes all over the place. Knight goes out to the side, loses a pawn, so he does lose a pawn, but I mean, it's not enough to lose the game at this stage. He's actually all over his opponent here. How on earth does white win this game? And by playing f6, he's weakened his king a little bit here, but I mean, the black's bishops just look great. And I mean, this still looks good for black, but like maybe it doesn't like g4. What is going on? And okay, I mean, he's had a low time for quite a while, 30 seconds. He's been down to that for quite a while, White has. And, you know, what is this? Has he just got a little bit lucky here? I mean, this is just... Does he invade? Oh, so after knight b3, the knight attacks the bishop. Black ignores it by doing bishop takes c4 because he thinks he's got this bishop in return. But the problem is, when he takes that bishop, the problem is Black can't take this one because then knight takes here. Is the problem. So it actually attacked the second bishop at the same time. So it was a nice idea, but it just didn't work. And now he's a piece down, and Devansh Gala can mop up, invade. He can exchange queens because every endgame for white here is winning with the knight. And then, of course, the black king is just, unfortunately, toast. What a close game between these two. That was really good. Okay, let's have a little look at another game as well. Try and give everybody as much content as visibility as possible here. So here we have the Wizards. This is Decode against Singapore Sling. Wizards against the Puffins. And I guess maybe a little bit of feedback from the crowd as well. I've been able to amend this to show us the team name rather than the actual name of the player. Would you prefer to see the name of the player, or would you prefer to see the team name? Oh, or maybe next time I can actually have the player and in brackets the team name. That might be better. Okay, so we know this is a Decode game, right? Because he starts b4, his famous opening from previous seasons, and he really advances down the queen side with his b pawn as well here. And okay, d4. And he kicks it back, and Singapore Sing has got like quite a decent position here. Okay, I don't really mind Queen C2, to be honest. It's not that terrible. They're all both playing very quick again. Knight into the center, supported by two pawns. Very, very solid here. Rook C1. A little bit of a threat here, by the way, of taking this and then taking on C7. This was seen by Singapore Sling, but I don't really like Rook C8. Now the A pawn is potentially... oh, okay, well, he played a4. He can't put his queen there anymore. But he's got a very strong knight here, hasn't he? Very strong knight in e4, but he can't just sit there and do nothing because, well, this rook's going to come down after the exchange of pawns, and white's attacking down the queen side and doing something. So the question is, what are you doing with these two knights here? They look beautiful. They really do. I'm expecting some sort of kingside attack or something like this on this pawn. Okay, right, it happens. I didn't know that. Okay, swaps. Hang on, he's invaded here, Singapore Sling. Isn't he invading on f2? There's a rook and knight on there. Okay, you've got to deal with this. These knights looking at each other, but surely this is going to be good for him. Knight takes, pawn takes, bishop here, queen out, takes. Oh, so he doesn't even take. So here he could have taken this. Could have taken this way with the knight, but chose not to. Chose to swap it off instead and attack like this. But the problem is, I think though that his attack is not going to work. And so actually these pawns are actually just rock solid. So if there's any colour square that these pawns are going to be strong on, it's going to be the dark squares, because guess what? They're all on dark squares. So you're going to have to sack like 2 pieces in order to break through. And unfortunately, you haven't quite got enough pieces. Oh, and it's just in the end, it's a blunder. Bishop e7 loses the bishop. And this is now should be one-way traffic as Decode cleans up some of the pieces. Okay, a rook got sacked. I think that was more hopeful there, to be honest. Rook f3, more hopeful. I think he knew that the writing was on the cards. It's a nice H-file, though, but unfortunately, a very nice checkmate. It was very close to checkmate, not quite checkmate. The king could have come forward, but there's no point because he's losing the rook. So he threw in the towel here. Completely understandable, to be honest, at that part. Okay, so we've got another game going on here at the moment. This looks like it's been another win. Oh, it's a win for Marine against Devansh Gala. So that would have definitely evened it up 1-1. So I'm wondering how this match is actually going on. Maybe I'll just flick to a slightly different view here. Let's see. So I'm trying to look around. So I'm just going to look. So there's 1, 2, Wizards, Puffins, Pirates, Dragons. And then we've got the other Puffins versus Wizards one, which is completely gone. So that's gone Decode's way as well. So Decode's 2-0 up for the Wizards. So this is actually, we're doing this game actually live, maybe on a tiny delay between Devansh Gala and Marine. Now these two, we want to stick with this just for a second. They're at 1-1. So we've actually got a really close matchup. Sometimes, we'll admit that sometimes we have like a title player against somebody rated under 1,000 in this group stages. So sometimes it's a bit one-way traffic, which is a bit of a shame. But this match here, this looks like it's really, really close. So I'm tempted to come back to this at some point. let's just see. And also Decode against Singapore Sling. They've started again as well. They're on game 3, but Decode's taken a 2-0 lead there. He just needs half a point for the full matchup. Just double checking the so Costa Royce is actually for the artist. It was a late stand-in, hence why it doesn't say artist there. Playing against Father of the Wolfhounds. Unfortunately, no joy for Tribal Esports with not against 61. But we have here that Costa Royce has got the second victory against Fard as well. Are they rematching for game 3 then? At the moment, they must be rematching surely. Yeah, you've got to play all 4. Play all 4 Gorms. Okay, so I think we'll switch back then because I think Group B is where all the action's happening at the moment. And we'll go to game 5 here. This is the one really that I want to be looking at right now. And in fact, I need to turn the computer engine off actually. How can I turn the computer analysis off? Where actually is it? We do not want this computer analysis on because this is yuck. How can we turn this off? Advanced chats, openings, analysis here. Oh, it's down there actually. Okay. What's that say? Let's see what that says. There we go. Don't want any lines. We don't want any feedback. We don't want computer analysis. That makes stuff not very good. There we go. So if we go back to the top. Alright, just making sure that that's still coming through on the stream okay. Right, good. And then I can flip back to there we go, Devansh Gala against Marine. And we'll also keep an eye on the Decode against Singapore Sling. I don't actually think Singapore Sling's actually played that badly. I think he's capable of getting himself back into this match. We might even have the first Armageddon at some point if he's able to do that. But combating Decode's B4 opening is really interesting here. So okay, so let's get into the chess here. So Devansh Gala 1-1 with Marine at the moment of the Pirates. Dragons RFC probably reeling from losing the Welsh Tiger to the Sea Dragons, but here they've got a fantastic stand-in Devansh Gala, and yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes. I'm just making sure that nobody's trying to message me. That's good. Okay, so Queen takes F7. So first of all, what's the material count? Is he just taking the pawn there or something? I think he's just nicked a pawn, and therefore White is a pawn up here, from what I can see. A little bit bigger for me. Oh, okay. So if this knight wasn't here, this would be checkmate. And oh, what a tactic! What a tactic here! Beautiful thing. Queen takes F7. Brought his queen back. Absolutely huge blunder. And I think a resignation might even be on the cards here. And now he brings the knight in. The knight on F8 has to take the knight that was defending the queen, and after takes, queen takes queen. And well, I mean, you're a piece for a queen down there. I can't really see Marine coming back from here, and this could be game over. That's going to be potentially 2-1 to Devansh Gala there. If he's able to close this out, queen against the knight, I think it's all over. He's got more time on the clock as well. This is looking wonderful for him. Let me just have a look to see what's going on in the other match as well. We've got Decode versus Singapore Sling, seeing as that one's just coming to its conclusion. I'm just making sure that we're not getting any more messages. I can hear Discord messages coming through, and I'm just wondering if that's me or somebody's trying to message me or not. I don't think it is. I'm sure they can tell me in the Twitch chats if need be. We've got some Puffin supporters in the chats, which is always good. A new player in the Puffins. It's got a good position here, you know. 2 bishops each. Looks like equal pawns. Yeah, equal pawns. 3 minutes to 2 minutes. Everything to play for here. I think maybe a little bit unlucky to find himself 2-0 down. Decode plays very quickly, and is kind of like I want to say he is what's the best descriptive word? He's a veteran of Welsh Esports, actually. In fact, pretty much met Decode because of Welsh Esports. Although apparently we did speak a long time ago due to me lending him a pen at an over the board tournament. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. Actually, let's stick with these guys. Look at the rating difference is kind of to be ignored as well, because I know that Singapore Sling is around about 1800 over the board, 1900 maybe, 1800, 1900. And so therefore online he could easily put up a fight against somebody who's 2200 online. And we're just getting to the kind of the real gritty part here. We got such an unbalanced kind of pawn structure. It's all equal, but you've got 3 pawns over here for white, which gives him a little bit better king safety compared to black's, which is not bad. Then over here you've got these 3 pawns against these 2. So if Singapore Sling is able to somehow generate some pawn moves over on the queen side, he's going to be able to potentially give himself a pass pawn over there. But it's a draw, to be honest, is what I think this should be at the moment. But we're going to stick with it to see what happens. We'll just have a look at some of the chats. Oh, Swanee. That's quite funny in the Twitch chat there as well. So just confirming that Welsh Wayne is going to be taking a victory for the Pit Ponies in round 1 due to Tribal Esports Nottingham 61 not showing up. So that will be that. But yeah, we're sticking with this game at the moment because this would actually mean the first match win for Decode if he gets a draw or a win here. But you still play all 4 games because every single game point matters. In the group stages, we quite often find that coming towards the end, those first, second, third, and fourth positions can sometimes not just be decided by match points, but actually by the game points that you score within those matches. So losing 4-0 is not great at all. If you lose 2.5, 1.5, though, significantly better. Of course, at the moment, Singapore Sling of the Puffins trying to get his first victory on the board. He doesn't want to lose. Wants to take this to 2-2 to take it through to Armageddon. And yeah, we haven't actually seen Lightbringer in action as well for the Goats. He's got a bye in round 1. We'll hopefully be seeing him soon in about, definitely in half an hour's time, maybe earlier if they message and they want their match to start a little bit sooner than normal. Then we can do that too. But let's stick with this one for now. You see Deco's just doubled up his rooks. It's looking very drawish, isn't it? All these pieces can get swapped off, and it could come down to a very tense endgame. It really could. I don't know what's going on here. We don't need this. Oh, there we go. It's a bit nicer. All the moves there. Literally, all of the queens could get exchanged, and then all the rooks can get exchanged. This might not be the best for Decode, though, to exchange off all these pieces, because the only pawns that are fixed here are the pawns on light squares. Oh no, has he just blundered it? No, he hasn't blundered. I thought he might have blundered, but queen takes rook is a bit of a dodgy thing to do. Rook and bishop against queen. That's a tense one. But you can see here, Singapore Sling's down to 22 seconds. He's really close here. I think Decode's searching for the blunder, and is really putting some pressure under his opponent. But I was saying before, the only fixed pawns here on light squares, with light square bishops being on, are actually Decodes on a4 and b5. So actually, an endgame, if you stop off the queens here, the endgame should be good for the Puffins player, Singapore Sling. And he's got a really nice central queen here, attacking lots of stuff. Oh, nearly got mated then. Nearly got mated. Very easy to move the bishop then, and then it would have been very big problems. And I think he's just surviving here, to be honest, because due to time, Deco's again 2 minutes on the clock, loads of time. It matters so much in blitz chess that you've got the time on your side. Get into time trouble, anything can happen. Remember here that Deco's happy with a draw. He's already won 2 games. He obviously wants to win, but if he takes a draw, then it'll take him to 2.5. He's got the match points in the bag. And he's probably going to be happy with that, because I think you'd be surprised at just how much how good a player this is for the Puffins. And I think he's going to score some good points. Okay, and he's just shuffling side to side here, which is just a ploy to gain time on the clock. I'd be maybe giving my king a little bit more space here actually as well. Maybe moving one of those pawns, either the H pawn or the G pawn. Obviously, it comes with the added risk. If you move one of those pawns forward, then you could be creating some weaknesses. Obviously, you can't move this one at the moment because the queen is pinning it. But if you move this H pawn, then it's obviously on a light square, which means that the bishop could cover that square. But I don't know. I think Decode's angling for. Oh, he's seen a tactic, but it might still be a draw. You know, if he wins the pawn here, might still be a draw. Is that a draw by perpetual check? I think it is. A draw suits him though. I don't know. He should just go for it. Should be fine with that. Okay, yeah, and so he wins the c7 pawn with a nice tactic, but I think black's just going to be able to get a perpetual check here and halve out, which means he at least gets half point on the board. However, he needs to win, but I don't think he can win. That's the problem. There's no way to win here, and he's down to 20 seconds compared to his opponent. So I think we're just going to see a draw, and it looks like Decode's the draw on the board. Decode gets the match victory. They've got to play one more game. Let's see if we can get some more points on the board because it could go down to game points. But do you know what? Really good game, that one. And a bit more time on the clock. And I believe Singapore Singh could have been playing for the win in that one there. Okay, so where's the other Dragons RFC, Pirates? Where's game 4? We're still on game 3. We're still on. Okay, we're on game 3 here. Did game 4 start? Why has that not come through? Why is game 4 not quite come through yet at the moment? Is that not played or? Let's see, how can I move up? Okay, so I'm starting to be able to move up if I drag some stuff. So let's go to games. Okay, all right. So we've got a bit of a. That's a thing here. How can I move down? Here's the games results. Okay, so we can see that Dragons RFC, Pirates, Wizards, Puffins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, great. And we can start to see the little boards, a little table starting to form here on chess.com. That's always nice to see. We see here that that's Decode with 2.5, but Dragons and Pirates, why have they not played a 4th game? Is everything okay there, guys? Just want to make sure. They should be playing as soon as possible. So this is Group B. Group A looks like that's going to be a... So Costa Royce won 2 games, but I believe that Fard just disappeared after game 2 and just threw the game in and said that he was completely outrated, shall we say. Costa Royce 2106. I think that's a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that rating to come on in. And then we saw that obviously not Tribal Esports, I'm afraid, didn't show up. Not against 61, so therefore that was going to be a win for the Welsh Wayne with the Pit Ponies. Not much happening in Group A for round 1. A couple of wins though for Costa Royce, which forces his opponent to throw in the towel. I'm just having a look here. If we go to the dashboard and we go to 6. Here we go. So hang on, let's just scroll down here. This is the one we want. Scrolling up and down here is. There we go. I can just about see the scroll there. Okay, right. Okay, this is the one that we want. Hang on. So this is currently, I believe it was 2-1, right? Here, surely he, yeah. Okay, so Dragons RFC, Devansh Gala, new player this time around, 2-1 up against Dukes or Marine of the Pirates. He's moved away from the Pit Ponies, where he was sharing it with Tutankhamun, and stepped out of his shadow, shall we say. And here he is with quite a huge attack, actually, against Devansh Gala. Has he got enough, though, with this attack? I'm just actually going to go back to the start. Let's see how this actually developed. Okay, so we have this Sicilian with queen takes. Very common at the moment, but you've got to give your bishop up for the knight. The knight can't take because of the pin to the king. Of course, if the bishop gets attacked, then it can't move away because you lose your queen. So that was all good. And okay, Devansh Gala may be happy to play this kind of setup with a lot of pawns here, all in the line. It is actually playable at the top level. Most of the time, though, we're talking about getting your pieces developed quickly. Didn't really like b3, but it's maybe fine. And okay, so what happens here then? Because he goes for it by the looks of things. Knight on f5, always a beautiful square for your knight if you can get it there. And that's why it got taken off the board pretty quickly. And I guess he looked at this and thought, you know what? This looks juicy. A juicy king in the center. And he decided he must have sacked the rook. It looks very tempting. I can understand why he's done this sacrifice. Rook takes king here. And it's not checkmate though, is it? The queen on b6 is covering this square. And it's covering here as well. And he brings the knight in because he can't take with the pawn because the queen takes queen. And therefore, after rook takes the queen, he's able to take this, and he gets himself back into equality. What a tactic! We'll join it live, shall we? Because we'll go back over that in a second. What an absolute attack! Rook takes the e7 check. That's an amazing tactic. If that knight d5 move worked, if he saw that beforehand, I want to play back through that one. But here we have Marine looking to level it up against Devansh Gala, and if he does, we will go to Armageddon, which will be a 3-0 game with so Jukesy there winning another pawn, so he's 4 pawns up here, knight against the bishop, so the bishop's usually a little bit better. Oh, is that another pawn? Devansh Gala running out of time here, making some mistakes, and pawns are dropping off like flies. You never know in endgames, though, when this could be good. This is fantastic play by Marine. He could be taking this one to Armageddon. He's got to convert this, though. Plays f6. Interesting decision. He's just going to rely that he's going to be able to hold the king side here. And we could be seeing our first Armageddon of the group stages. We pretty much went through the whole of Season 1 where we didn't get a single Armageddon, by the way. And then we had, I think, maybe 1 or 2 last season. And here in round 1, we could be getting our first Armageddon here for this season, which is more work for me. So I'm kind of happy that it doesn't happen, but that should be game. With the bishop gone, that's it. That is game over now. I expect a resignation or some just real fast play. This is going to Armageddon, and they're both in the Discord chat, so I'll just double check that they're okay to start it. What that means is that they're both going to have 3 minutes on the clock with no added time. Okay, so it's going to go really quickly. If white wins, then okay, white wins. If black wins, then black wins. If it's a draw, then black wins. So just to clarify, let's have a little look at this. Who was white in round 1? So, hang on. Was there one game that started that wasn't quite right? No, they played all their games perfectly fine. So they're all good. So they will go to, and it will be Devansh Gala with the white pieces. As well. So just double checking. I'm just going to check with them that they're both okay to start now. Jukes. Just checking with them, both okay to start now, because we will start it. So one's okay, right. Let's get them started then. No time like the present. And okay, as I've just started that off, they should hopefully be in the right area. And we're just cutting here to the Puffins v Wizards match. So this is Singapore Sling against Decode. And it looks like Singapore Sling got his first half point on the board, which is really good. So he's going to lose this match 2.5 half at the moment. And looking at this, he's got a lot of pawns. But unfortunately, there's an extra rook for Decode here. So we will join the Armageddon match in a second. But let's just see just what happened here just before we do that. So actually, he had a really good opening here. This is a fantastic opening for white. He's a pawn up, actually, at this point. So how did he lose? Okay, so g6 attacked the knight. He didn't bother moving it. He went aggressive. And the problem is it just cost him a knight there. And it looks aggressive, but okay, he sacks the rook. But if you're going to sack the rook, you've got to checkmate. And he just wasn't able to checkmate, which was really annoying. And so I expect him to possibly go on to lose this one pretty quickly. That king is running away. got all the pieces in front of it, so it should be perfectly fine. So that one's gone, but let's have a look at this one. So we're joining this one now. This is a 3-0 match, so there's no increment now. If they get down to 10 seconds, they're going to have to move super fast. Devanchgala with the white pieces for representing Dragons RFC, and we've got Marine playing for the Pirates here with black. Marine as black has got a little advantage here in that a draw actually means that they will actually take the match points. The game points will still be 2.5, but match points will go to the Pirates. So let me know who you're playing for, who you're supporting. New player Devanchgala, you know, I'm really pleased that we put on the Welsh Esports League. In the other matchup, we saw Decode. I didn't know much about him until the Welsh Esports League. Fantastic. Devanchgala here, though, completely new to me. Really want to know a bit more about you and see where you come from. Fantastic to have another quality addition, someone that can really put us through our paces here. But this looks like, okay, he's nicked a pawn there, hasn't he? Nicked a pawn, but nicked 2 pawns, but Marine's coming down onto b2, so there's some really fast play going on here. Just look how quickly these pieces are moving, and this is what we want from the Esports League. As much as I'm definitely a classical player, I like my long time controls, my 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour games. That's where I know I'm good. But actually, in the Esports League, it's got to be quick. And okay, pawn up for white, but look at the activity of the black pieces again. It could cause more damage to be active rather than just one pawn. So we're just starting, and of course, every time you have to think, it's putting more pressure on your opponent. This is where they're using time on the clock. They're not going to get that time back. It does not come back for them. So this is squeaky bum time, as we used to call it. Okay, and yeah, it looks like Single Plus Thing did go on to lose that match, so he lost 3.5 to Decode. Okay, was that just a repetition then? It was a repetition. Maybe Marine is using the fact that he can get a draw here and take the match points in his favour, which is, you know, kind of a little bit lucky with the way the pairings are. But okay, I mean, you know, extra pawn is great, but look at the black pieces coming in now. There's a huge attack on this f2 pawn with the knight and the bishop. This knight is beautifully placed and defended by the pawn. Under a minute now for Devanchgala. He has been playing some quick chess, so I don't think he's too bothered about the time, but what point will it become critical and they start blitzing each other out just to try and beat them on time? This is where it gets exciting. Okay, he's leveled that pawn up now. Taking it back. That's it. He hung mate. He hung mate. It's over. Marine takes the victory. Mate was hung. The time pressure told this knight was actually preventing the mate on g1 right at the end. I think with playing bishop d6 here, he thought that he was actually going to win this pawn back after losing this one. The problem is, though, queen g1 was checkmate. What an absolute fantastic matchup for round one. I cannot wait to see both of these players competing at the latter stages of this tournament, because you know, they could meet again. These guys, they could meet again in this, you know, in the finals of the semi of even elimination. What a matchup between these two, you know, and Marine getting his points on the board for the Pirates in his first outing. Went 1-0 down. I think he was also 2-1 down as well. But I mean, that game was great. For me, though, let's look at this one again. This is the one for me where Marine really earns his fee in this one here. And it's this position here, right, after rook e8, having the bravery here to go rook takes e7 check. What a move. This is probably what justifies his victory. And after rook takes, queen takes d6, king goes back, and then you know, I don't know if he saw knight d5 before playing this. I'm hoping that he did, because knight d5 is a beautiful move. Forks the queen and rook, more checks coming in. Obviously, checkmate would be threatened. If they take it, then the queen would be hanging on b6. And then, okay, he goes rook there, and he just goes, okay, I'll take this. Takes this. And while he's actually got back to equality here, rook and knight against rook and bishop, just, all right, he's maybe 2 pawns up, actually, because of this as well. But just look at the black pawns. Isolated, doubles, weak, and also isolated. The bishop on g7 has just got nowhere to go, can only go backwards. So from this position, White is pretty much cleaning up whatever happens. And okay, in the end, he made it look easy. And it kind of was easy. I mean, just look, the rook wasn't getting out. He needed to maybe try something like this to get the rook out, but it was all over. And actually just used the fact that he could swap off pieces into a one endgame very nicely before pretty much here his resignation, allowing f4 check, winning the bishop, and that was game over. What a matchup. Really impressed, guys, by your matchups there. Okay, let's go back to see what's going on, because obviously we've got round 2 coming up now in the next few moments. I'm just going to check on the Discord chat. I think we'll probably have maybe a few minutes break. I'll go and have a comfort break as well to see. But I guess we could look at, just very quickly before we do, there should be a table somewhere, actually. Let's just have a look at the little table. If I just, there we go. See my scroller. So we can have a look at results. And yes, we can see it there. So we'll update some of these as well. So you can see here that there's Marines 3 points against the 2 points of Devansh Gala for the Dragons. Puffin's got half a point. Yeah, we've got some new players actually joining us for round 2, because there's 5 groups in each match. And therefore, some players will have a bye in round 1, but they'll play in round 2. So let's have a look. So round 2, it looks like if Not Against 61 doesn't show up, then it looks like Costa Royce of the Artist might have a walkover win. Welshie Wayne will be playing against the Welsh Tiger. That's going to be a nice debut game for him, but I guess he's quite happy to get a win on the board already. Singapore Sling against Devansh Gala. That's going to be an absolute cracking matchup. Devansh Gala is probably going to be a little bit wanting some revenge there, because he was really close in that matchup against Marine. Marine's not got another game now, so he's coming on next week. We'll see him next Friday. He's done his job for tonight. And then we're going to have the GOAT, not Lightbringer, or Lightbringer playing against Decode. What a matchup in round 2. Looking forward to those to come up. Right, okay. I'm just going to go and take a quick comfort break, and I'll come back in a few minutes' time, and we'll start the games for round 2. If we could pause the stream for me, please. And welcome back, everybody. And I don't know about you, but I've only just recovered after that round one, having our very first Armageddon of this season. What a matchup that was between Devanch Gala and Marine. And yeah, I mean, there's more of those to come by the sounds of it too. I'm just having a quick look, actually, doing a little bit of snooping as well, because we had a late stand-in. The artists, their last season champion, Ethan RJ, not showing up today, apparently stuck on the plane. And they've just got in. Costa Royce has come in to play for them. He was like 2100 blitz. It's a fantastic stand-in. Absolutely great. So we're going to be seeing what they're made of, shall we say. Well, they might get a walkover win in the round 2, which is a bit of a shame, really, if Not Again 61 doesn't show up for the second match. But that's just how it is. But what an absolute stand-in for the artists. And maybe Costa Royce can have their own team in the future, which would be really good. We've got some other matchups coming up too. We've got the Welsh Tiger, who's been poached by the Sea Dragons for this season, playing against Welsh Wayne out of the Pit Ponies. Welsh Wayne's going to be having a great time. He's competing in the event and doing as well as he can do. The Puffin Singapore Sling 42 got beaten by Decode. But you know what? I think it's a bit unlucky that they met in round 1. I think if it was a few rounds in, maybe next week that they met, I'm pretty sure Singapore Sling would have been able to give him just a little bit more of a push, because you need to adapt to playing in the Welsh Esports. So you can't just come in round 1 and then just be firing on all the cylinders. You have to be a little bit kind of used to how it all works and make sure you're kind of settled, shall we say. So maybe that matchup would have been a bit more closer had it been later on. But of course, Decode ran out 3.5 half winners there for the Wizards, and yet again, I tell you what, the Wizards got very lucky that they got Decode in the draft in season, or the first season of chess. He stuck with them and been an absolute stalwart for them. Great thing. But yeah, he's now going to be taking on, though. He's got a nice matchup against another fantastic find as the Goats join the party, as Lightbringer comes in. I think he's streaming on his own channel as well, by the way, which is great to see. Let me start the matchup. So I'm just going to look to my right here just to get these matches started, just to see what happens. Hopefully they should be in chess.com/live, and then we can get started. So let me just start these games. So there's one gone. 2 started. Singapore Sling against Devanch Gala should be started. And then also, let's go Not Lightbringer against Decode. Yes, it is quite interesting sometimes as I'm switching between people's names on what they call themselves on like esports, what they call themselves on Discord, what they call themselves on chess.com. So Lightbringer's name on chess.com is Not Lightbringer, which is always amusing. So okay, so we've got Sea Dragons Tribal Esports. Okay, it's round 2 of these games started. B. Okay, so we've got Singapore Sling is playing. Lightbringer should be playing as well. He just needs to make his first move. Make sure in chess.com live, boys. Everybody's, as far as I'm aware, a guy out of everybody that's playing. So hopefully that's started if Lightbringer can make a move. I'm just going to double check. And before we flick to the games. Okay, so are these matches all started now? Thank you very much for bearing with me, everybody. Okay, so yeah, Lightbringer against Decode started as well. As expected, I've not seen much from Tribal Esports. Welsh Tiger needs to make his first move against Welsh Wayne. Just going to make sure that happens. It's Welsh Tigers. Time is ticking down. He's not made a move yet, so. Oh, he's good now. Okay. He's good now. I think he's on. Okay. I'm sure he'll be okay there. Right. Okay. So let's cut to the games then and see what's actually been going on. We've already had quite a lot of matchups being played. So, okay, we can see here. Just drag this down. There we go. That's Welsh Tigers making his first move. French on the board from Welshie Wayne as well. Good guy. Tarash from the Tiger. I had a lot of fun playing against the Welsh Tiger here, by the way. When we transition to the games, it'd be great to see because here I played against him many times. Soon. Are we transitioned to the games slide? Oh, there we go. Thank you. So here in this position, I would be black in this position playing the French, and he played the Tarash against me. And like the normal moves here are like knight f6, c5. And during COVID, we played quite a few times. And I played this quite a little bit of an unorthodox move, knight c6, just to hit the pawn. I gave the Welsh Tiger, shall we say, a little bit of a headache on what to do in this variation, that he doesn't play this variation against me anymore, which is quite nice to see. Let's catch up with some of the other matches, though, here. So, okay, Devansh Gala looks like he's got a slight advantage there against Singapore Sling of the Puffins. And the one that we want to see, though, the Goats, Lightbringer, playing a Queen's Gambit, and it was a Slav here from Decode, Slav Exchange Slav. Some simple stuff. For example, here, I might have been tempted by f3. I might have been tempted by queen b3, rather than just swapping off the bishops, although it's a pleasant position for him to play. A lot of pieces have been exchanged here as we just play through the game. So, he just drops a pawn here when he plays e4. And he forgets that the pawn was actually defending this one. And when black takes with this one, that means that the queen's also attacking it as well. So he just drops one pawn. It's not the end of the world. Swap some pieces off, but okay. You can see that Decode is starting to invade now. And time-wise, he's not used anything. He's still 4 minutes, 40 seconds. And he's picking off pawns left, right, and centre. Lightbringer's got to get himself back into the action here. It's looking in one direction from what I can see at the moment. We've got, as well, Singapore Sling for the Puffins, trying to survive here against the Welsh Goal. Let's just play back through this, actually, how this went. Okay, so Singapore Sling deliberately playing this opening here, which is called the Stone Wall, which puts all these pawns on dark squares. It's a very effective opening when used correctly. And the idea is that you just bang the knight into e5. You don't really care about your dark square bishop being not very good, because you're just going to castle, and then you're going to do like a rook lift and attack. So let's just see if he does this. The bishop d2 here, it's good that he probably wants to get the bishop out this way. But if you're going to play this opening, bang the knight in, get the other knight around maybe, do a rook lift. The king's over there on the king's side. Go for it. Go for the attack. Put your opponent under pressure. This kind of thing is just too slow with the bishop. And while it's quite good to do so, and it does improve your position, it's given black too much time to smash open this side of the board. And you see that white's got a really weak pawn here on c3. Can't be defended by other pawns, and therefore, when it gets attacked, white's going to have to use their pieces to defend it, or move it forward and swap it off more. And I can see here that that gets lost. And while this is a very nice pawn here, if he's able to get his queen to h6, it's like unstoppable checkmate. But I'm guessing that is going to be really difficult to do. Let's join it in the end position. So Devansh Gala's 2 pawns up at the moment. Or it looks like it's going to be one more pawn, actually. Oh, no, not quite. So he's 2 pawns up at the moment. This pawn is going to be really fast. White's, at least Singapore Sling's at least got this pawn here. At least got this pawn here to give him some counterplay. Devansh Gala is just trying to swap queens off, swaps queens off, then the counterplay that white has is kind of like gone. And Singapore Sling does a good job of avoiding, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to quite get enough. Back. Okay, so it's all about, can Singapore Sling create enough threats to stop Devanchgala are actually winning this game. Notice how they've both got loads of time left at the moment, like just not even halfway through yet on the clock. And maybe some better decisions could have been made. But I guess what happens there is that you get you have this fear of not moving quick enough and then getting into time trouble. And here Devanchgala is going to pick up another pawn, although he has to be careful. He has to be careful. There's little tricks around here, for example, like rook b8, check. And you don't want to take it because then the queen would take the queen here. But luckily after rook b8 check, actually, rook b8 check would have been good. King g7 would have had to have been played, and then you've got queen f8 check. You can just start to get it in. That was an opportunity that was missed with queen f6. We get this position, which is live. We'll stick with this game for now before flicking around, because Devanchgala's picked up 3 pawns for free here. Should be trying to miss that opportunity, Singapore's thing. Just a little bit of extra time would have given them that chance to play that check. And that would have had the black king right out in the open. That would have been the one. That was the moment. Is he going to get another moment to get himself back in this game? Looking round, we can see. I'm just having a look around some of the other games. Welsh Tiger and Welsh Wayne are also playing from the other group. But we do have another dead rubber in that other group as well. So there's only one game going on. And this is the problem for Singapore Sling now. The rooks now are going to get traded. And we get this queen endgame. And usually queen endgames, with just queen and pawns, are very drawish due to the amount of checks that you can have. Because it's usually only 1 pawn either way. 1, maximum 2 pawns either way. Here it's 3 pawns extra, which is huge. It's not a small amount, which means that the black king's actually relatively safe in this position. So therefore, I'm not expecting Singapore Sing of the Puffins to get back into this one, no, at this stage, although you never know when something like Devanchgala is just desperate. Please trade queens with me. But he's not going to. You're not going to trade queens and just let your opponent win. And keep your options open. Okay, I expect this one, though, to still be converted. So I'm going to look at what's happening in the other game. So this is going to Lightbringer's down to 20 seconds. And you can see here he's still playing this same game. Oh, it's just checkmate. We just joined it a checkmate. Decode has nullified the goats. Beautiful. If you know the name of this checkmate with the knight and the rook, put it in the chat. Absolutely beautiful checkmate. If you know what it is, shout it out loud. I'll tell you, this is the Arabian mate. Is this one's called? Beautiful checkmate on the board. Okay, it was coming, and the time pressure that Decode puts you under is absolutely huge as well. Does somebody say that we missed Queen E1 as well back here somewhere? I'm just having a look back in case it was somewhere around here, maybe. No, because this was the opportunity that he had here. Because here Queen A4 looks so nice because you either swap queens with me or I take your pawn on A3. But actually Queen E7 is a beautiful move. If after Queen takes A3, if he'd followed it up with Rook B8, if he'd followed it up with this one, you can't take because I do Queen takes Queen. And then Rook and 3 pawns against the Queen, that's probably drawn. But maybe winning for the Queen. And then if you move the King, then Queen F8. And the King has to come out this way, and we all of a sudden get loads of checks. Okay, maybe it's not quite that clear, but like Queen here would force the King out. If it comes here, you risk G4. Don't care about your own King. The King would be moving around, which would be absolutely huge. That was the moment. Maybe there was a Queen E1 here, but okay, we see that Singapore Thing is lost another pawn now. Later in the Queen game, they win the Rook somewhere. Let's just have a look. Where was this? Oh, we win Black's Rook, of course. Even better. Thank you, Marine. I was looking at trying to checkmate the King. Of course, the commentator's curse. Of course, if the King G7 goes forward, Queen F8 check. Forget these extra checks. Absolutely spot on. We just do Rook takes Rook. Oh, wow. So therefore, this would have been the draw, at least drawing attempt you'd have to take, and then Queen takes Queen. That would have been the moment. And I mean, I don't even know what this endgame actually is. Rook and 3 against Queen, but extra 2 pawns. So Rook and 5 against Queen and 2. Anybody's guess there. That was the moment. Tactics. But unfortunately, missed that one, and Singapore Sling goes down in the first game against Devansh Gala. Well spotted from the crowd as well, so thank you very much for that. This is great stuff. Absolutely great chess that's going on here, and it's all things that they can learn from. So we're just going to flip to Group A because we've seen some of these guys been playing, and here we have the Welsh Tiger against Welsh Wayne. Welsh Tiger started this game with a little bit less time on his clock, but I think he's okay because Welsh Wayne, you're in for a bit of a bruising here against the FIDE Master. He's rated well over 2,000 over the board. And okay, 2 bishops against Rook and Knight is not completely over. But I mean, the problem is these extra pawns here are just going to charge down the board, and it's going to be so difficult for them to play this match now. It's going to be really difficult for Welsh Wayne. Unfortunately, I can see these pawns causing absolute havoc. Although you never know, especially Welsh Wayne. To be fair to you, to get this close against the FIDE Master is a real good effort as well. Let's just see if he finishes this out. I tell you what, we've seen some fantastic tactics. I love that matchup in the first. That Rook takes E7 by Marine. Singapore Sling missing a tactic there against Devansh Gala there, which would have kept him in the game. These are the tactics that will make the chess.com blog that I'll have to do, by the way. So I have to remember these for when I write that up. That takes me a good couple of hours to do and sort it all out. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going one way. The bishop's just holding onto the pawn, keeping one of Black's pieces here, and the other pawn's going to win the day, unless he can somehow get stalemate, but I don't think it likely, I'm afraid. I think this is going to be it. And he's just built up some time here as well, so he can just do what he wants. Oh, he's just lost the pawn, though. He's a bit careless there from the Tiger. Bit careless. Welsh Wayne is fighting. It is unfortunately still completely lost for you. But that was a bit of a blunder from the Tiger. He did not mean to lose that pawn. The king should have maybe stayed a little bit closer if it could have done. But maybe it couldn't, and that was the problem. I thought you could have sacked the bishop maybe at some point there. But yeah, just use the king to march this pawn forward, and it should be game over. So maybe just a little bit of technique required here just to finish this one. But maybe Welsh Wayne can take that as like a mini victory, shall we say. Which would be really good. Pawn gets to a light square, and all of a sudden it just becomes a bit of a problem holding on to it. Tell you what, there's been a few puffin jokes in the chat as well, which have been very interesting. And if you're just joining us, okay, second queen on the board. Checkmate soon here. Just joining us, obviously news for this season. Bulanov and Pedrada are away playing chess, so they can't make this season. As we just see Welsh Tiger clean up Welsh Wayne there. They've got 3 more games to play, so we'll look for that. I'm assuming that Tribal Esports didn't turn up, I'm afraid, so therefore Costeroy stepping in for the artists. Absolutely great stand-in. Going to take the victory there. So we'll see if we can get another player for Tribal Esports next week, if we can do. Hopefully we can. But let's go to Group B. This is where some of the action is happening. Both games have happened, first round games. So here we have Devansh Gala playing against Singapore Sling again. Devansh Gala has just nicked 2 extra pawns the second time in a row. I'm pretty sure it came down to pawns in the first game. How has he managed to nick some pawns here? Okay, well, we all love the French, and c5 is the critical line against the Tarash Knight d2. This is all okay. c3 is a bit pessimistic, but it is a line, and he transposes to the exchange, but a bad exchange. White should not be happy. He needs to learn some better openings here. This is a little bit pessimistic. Okay, bishop e6 is maybe okay, but I can see what he's doing. Yeah, see things like this. The bishop comes out to attack the knight, threatens to double the pawns. This is where the initiative is won or lost in chess. The knight's under attack, and then your bishop's on a nice diagonal here already, and you bring it back to defend the knight. It's like we want to be more aggressive, we want to be more attacking, And sometimes you just can't help it, I'm afraid, and you just have to go defensive. And okay, so eventually he puts the knight in, and it costs him a pawn. He loses a pawn because of it, and you can't afford to make mistakes like that and lose pawns. And we end up in this position here, and we can see Devansh takes a 2-0 lead against Singapore Sling, wanting to come back. He's had 2 real tough matches, to be fair. Let's have a look at the other match. And no, Lightbringer is down against Decode. The Wizards are looking to pick up the 2 points here, the second point here in this match. His time's good, but unfortunately, Rook meets Knight, and well, you can't stop B7 being played. He'd have to give his Knight up for the pawn. What a close match that one is. Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's just outmatched on this. So let's just have a look. How did he actually lose the piece? The signature opening of Decode. He knows this so well. He likes to take the space on the queen side. What actually happened here? Because this is looking good for Lightbringer. Here, he's got a nice position. I like this rook lining up with this queen. That's nice. Okay, takes. Bishop in. Okay, concede some space. This diagonal is so deadly, but it doesn't actually do anything right now. So he's still fine here. Okay, this is the moment it starts to go wrong. The open files in the position are the D and C files. These are the open lines. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try and get your rooks to invade. So for example, this rook would kind of be ready to invade down on C2. You know, move the knight out the way, get the rook down there. That's how you start to invade. Although actually, can he even pick up a pawn with... does he miss pick up a pawn here with bishop B3? It attacks the rook, and it also attacks the pawn on A4 at the same time. There might be some other tactics involved, but it's moves like that. You've got to target the weaknesses. This knight is holding this rook here, defending it. The rook F8, where's that rook going? And he just walks in, puts his rooks in the forkable position. The knight was stopping it at the moment. Moves his knight away, and then bang, and that's how he loses the piece. Loses the exchange. It's check this time, and unfortunately, that's probably game, I'm afraid. There, so that was just a bit unfortunate there. For okay, you swap rooks and you can't stop it. So unlucky there from the Goats player Lightbringer. So we've got 2 matches that are 2-0. What's going on here? Hang on a minute. Is this game 3 and this is Singapore Sling? He's really gone for it. I tell you what, look at his clock. He's not bothered about time. He's just sacked to pieces. The bishop down already. Why is he not just going for checkmate though? Why is he delayed? Just go straight for checkmate. He's going to be threatening. He's going to be threatening some stuff here against the Devansh. He could actually get a win here. I don't want to jinx it because I'm joining it maybe at the same time, and they could both be watching the calls. But he's got a fantastic opportunity against this king. I just flipped to the Lightbringer versus Decode one. Okay, so this match is in full swing as well here. Looks like Lightbringer's a piece down already, which is a shame. But this one, he's gone for rook takes f7. Is he sure that that's actually going to win, though? He's thought for a few seconds, and I'm waiting for the follow-up here. Okay, I don't understand why. I mean, it didn't look like it actually worked. That's the problem. You just sacked the rook straight away. It didn't look like it worked at all. You've got 4 minutes on the clock. Why? Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Jukesy, in the chat. I was thinking that too. There's nothing here. That's just lost. But let's just go back for a few moves here, because when we joined it, I saw this. All right, I saw rook f6. I saw this position. I'm actually looking here. So what he wanted to do is his plan was to do rook takes g6. But I don't understand, why has he not just gone rook f4 in order to play rook h4 and then checkmate? Why not play this way? I don't get it. This looks unstoppable to me. I can't see how black stops this without maybe doing something silly like giving up the queen on g5 or something. If you play f6, it's checkmate still. Queen takes g6, king h8, rook h4, checkmate. This is game over. How does black stop this? Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, because we joined it here, and I thought actually retreating the rook to f4 was the quickest way to get it to h4. But the problem now is just a little bit of an issue after rook f4, now f6, and the queen is coming across to help because you can't. Queen takes g6 actually runs into queen g7 now, which is a bit of a problem. So I mean, you might win some pawns, but you're not checkmating. But here, why rook f6? This was again another moment. Rook f4, rook h4, game over. 4 minutes on the clock. This was the time. This was the moment. This was the opportunity. I mean, how did he get here? He must have sacked a piece somehow. Oh, it was a Greek gift. He did his stone wall again, and he thought, do you know what? I'm going for it. And actually, I mean, g6 is a. I'm not so sure about g6 to Vanchgala. That was a bit of a dodgy move there. Maybe some tiredness setting in here, but this is just really slow. And again, king g7. What is that move? Just go straight back to g8. This allows queen h6. So there's some poor play from both of them. And do you know what? They both used barely any time here. I'm not happy with either of you for playing too quickly in this matchup. One, Devanchgala, you've allowed this attack to work against you. Two, Singapore Sling, you've missed rook f4, rook h4 here. You should both hang your heads in shame. This is not good chess at all. And I'm not surprised that, okay, the attack petered out and Devanchgala picks up the third win there to go ahead. So both of these matchups look like they're going to finish. So here we've got Lightbringer fighting for his life here. He's 2-0 down. 2-0 down here. And he's hoping just to somehow get lucky and not lose. But I think it's going to be over. And this would actually clean up both of these matches. Just with one more game to play for both of them, though, trying to get themselves both on the score sheet. Yeah. Well, I did used to be a maths teacher, so I can actually go harder than that. I've actually toned it down for you lot, though. But I do want to make sure that we get the point across here. You know, that people sometimes play just randomly, and it's like, use these games to try and be the best and try and improve your play. You know, don't just come here and just play just random nonsense. And missing opportunities like that, they seem these are. I think both of them, if they look back on themselves there, they'll be a bit disappointed with how they put their foot forward. But maybe the game was a bit of a dead rubber in the end. Okay, Lightbringer, you've got plenty of time here. Maybe you should just sit here for 3 minutes, Lightbringer, and see what happens. If you can bore your opponent. I don't know about charting the progress of players, but I am bright enough, which is good. Okay, and that's another victory for Decode. So they're both up 3-0. Okay, and this game is already gone. I tell you what, he's got an attack now. Singapore Sling has got this white Devanchgala's king. It's on the ropes again. And it's right in that he wants this king. He just can't quite get it. He's got a discovered attack now. Oh no! Oh no! He's resigned before it happens. Oh! Oh no! 4 minutes on the clock and he gets excited, plays queen g4, and he resigns before allowing queen takes queen, which would have been a free queen. And that's a 4-0 victory for Devanchgala, and I don't think it was justified. But do you know what? Let's have a look how this attack developed. Because this was great play by Singapore Sling here. The knight comes in, queen goes back. This is the moment, f3, beautiful attack coming here. It's exactly, I mean, still, they could have used some bit more time on the clocks. Appreciate maybe it's getting a little bit late for them, but we've got 3 matches for some people next week. G4 is what? You do not want to play G4 there. Knight takes pawn, and actually, you can't take it. You can't take it because the queen takes, and it's going to be checkmate on G2. This is absolutely insane play. I mean, Devanchgala, you are going to lose so many games if you keep doing this. He plays C3, which allows the check from the knight to come in. Actually, was that even necessary? Okay, the check came in king here. Knight takes f2 check. Oh, knight takes f2 was a check, but it allowed the rook to come up on the cross. If he just did and just thought for a second and went knight e3, you attack the queen and you're threatening checkmate. Oh, Singapore Sling, that's 2 now. Knight e3 just closes out the game. Because it's not even needed queen h3 and then queen g2, because actually the knight's covering g1, so it's literally just queen h3 is checkmate. I mean, if white does knight takes bishop here, check, just move the king. Don't get your queen distracted. And like, how did they even stop? Okay, maybe knight f5, maybe? But okay, we at least take the queen. We're way ahead. You play g6 next go. The knight has to stay where it is. So you're going to pick the knight back up again. Oh, what an opportunity that was. And then this just allows it to come in. Was there even a checkmate here? I mean, he tries. Okay, so queen g4 now might have been a better move. He tries this one, gets a rook involved, which is obviously not bad to get the rook. Hang on a minute here. Could he have done queen takes rook? Sloppy play. Disappointed. Disappointed there, but okay, these things happen. Okay, and we've got here Lightbringer playing the black pieces for the goats against Decode of the wizards. And hang on, he's a piece down already. Hang on a minute, how's this happened? How are we a piece down? I'm expecting some better play. So we've got here the typical opening that Decode plays, the orangutan, or whatever opening you want to call it. So we're all good here so far. Lightbringer's got a nice position. And then take. Oh, so here he gets his bishop attacked. Needs to move his bishop, I'm afraid. But then after this gives a check. But I'm afraid 2 pieces under attack now by a pawn, and therefore loses a piece, and therefore it's game over. Unfortunately, Decode takes a 4-0 victory against Lightbringer there. Some good solid play, quick play as well. I might add some good quick play. And that is game over. Is that all matches played, by the way, for it must have been have we got all the games played from both matches now? So let me just double check here. As we get four matches from Puffins Dragons. Yes, we did. So both matches finished 4-0, but okay. I tell you what, Singapore Sling, you're going to be disappointed watching this back. Either tonight or tomorrow morning, or maybe your wife will be your missus will be telling you you're disappointed. Let's go flick back to I'm sorry, Welsh Way. My massive apologies here for not covering your games live. You were playing against the Welsh Tiger here, who's it looks like here, and we covered game 1. This is game 2. Looks like you lost this one. And okay, we're here actually. Okay, we're doing it in game 3. So we've actually got some good players here. They've taken the time on the clocks. I like what I'm seeing here from Welsh Wayne, and he's playing some good chess. Good game, people. Good games. And this is the last match of the evening. So we've got the Sea Dragons with their new signing, Welsh Tiger. Bulanov and Pedrada are off on their travels. I think they might be playing in Andorra, I think. I know Bulanov's flying tomorrow, I think, to Andorra to play in the tournament. I'm pretty sure that Pedrada's also there as well. So Welsh Tiger steps in, been poached. And the Pit Ponies will obviously have a see who's playing for them as well. I think Tutankhamun was wanting to come back, but just a miscommunication error. And so they've picked up Welsh Wayne as a really good addition. Who actually, I'd say, while this game gets going, looks like they're both taking the time. We can actually have a look at the game 2 between them. Okay, so here, Welsh Wayne, if you want to play the Open Sicilian, then play D4. Maybe just Google some YouTube videos on what to do against the Sicilian. But your setup here is not bad. But it feels like here you're playing like the Italian game, what you would do against E5, but you're playing against the Sicilian. Unfortunately, you can't do that. So you need a little line. I'd probably recommend actually you're looking for something simple, like trying to play the Smith-Morra Gambit is probably the best thing to do when you're new. You sack a pawn, but you get some real good activity for it. That's probably a real nice one. But let's join this game to see where we got up to. So E5 was played, okay, and Welsh Wayne. Okay, you're doing fine here, Welsh Wayne. This is class though from the Tiger. F4. He ignores it, plays b5, knowing that you can reclaim this pawn. And okay, he fights for it though. Actually, Welsh Wayne, you've played some good stuff here. I'm actually very impressed by your play. This is really close. Welsh Wayne, where's this come from? The Tiger is having to work here as black. And okay, just that edge there where it's 2 pawns here against the 1. But these 2 pawns are connected. It's going to be difficult to stop them. And there's the blunder, I'm afraid. Knight h4, and it's game over. But it was looking ominous for you. So during this game in round 3, Welsh Wayne with the black piece is taking this time playing some sensible chess. Do you know what? Yeah, you're doing all right there. Doing all right there. And yeah, Singapore Sling has just been told that he did miss a couple of things. I mean, I think he missed more than, I think in 3 games you had opportunities. That could have been very different. Very different indeed. Whew. So we'll have a look. Okay, so this is where it just starts to get a little bit tense now for Welsh Esports. There's a double attack on this knight. The queen spinning it to the king. He's playing some sensible chess, but queen c7 is not the move I would have chosen. It does obviously solve the problem of the knight being undefended. The knight is definitely defended now. But I know that Welsh Tiger here has got a couple of really good options. So we're just going to see what gets played. What gets played next. I'm just looking just in case anybody's trying to message me about anything. That's okay. And obviously we've got Not Again 61 not showing up for Tribal Esports. So there might be an opportunity there for somebody else to jump in if we want to have them play instead. That would be good. Yeah, and this is the problem with this Queen C7 move. You're just helping the bishop get developed. So now there's a discovered attack that's coming your way. So for example here, slightly better move might have been just Queen C8. So therefore these attacks don't come. On C7, then you had Knight B5 and you also had Bishop F4, both attacking the Queen, and this is why you just need to be a little bit careful here. So for example here, you see here where he played B6. There's nothing technically, it's not a bad idea, right, to develop this bishop. But the important thing here is to get castled. So we can develop this bishop at a later stage. So actually after D4, actually just play Bishop E7, get this king castled. Just get my arrows on the board, Bishop E7, get this king castled, and then sort out this bishop. But also, why do we need to put the bishop on this long diagonal? The bishop can actually come out to any of these squares here. G4, F5, and E6. This is where the bishop belongs. And can easily go to. We don't need any more effort. So this extra time has just caused him a bit of an issue. And now Bishop F4 comes in. He snaffles a pawn. Can he get away with that? And then Knight G6. We have the discovered attack on the queen. And the knight's also threatening the rook. But the knight's also threatening the bishop as well. The queen is going to have to be saved somehow here. And it might cost him a pawn, but he's at least winning the exchange here, Welsh Tiger is. But do you know what? It's still game on. Yeah, Marine, you Jukesy, you've got a point there in the chat, and maybe he doesn't want to lose it, but I'm afraid. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, he's seen a nice tactic here. Welsh Tiger has showing a little bit of class here. Well, does it work? Does it actually work? Welsh Wayne is. I thought that this game's exploded into life. I want to just let it happen first before I go over it, because this is really complicated and complex. So at the moment they're level on material, but like there's a rook hanging and there's also going to be a bishop hanging very, very soon. So this queen move, if it is a queen move, from Welsh Wayne is going to be pivotal. He's just getting down to a minute on the clock here. You see that the time just starts to matter a little bit now. Yeah, the rook defends the queen though as well. It's really interesting. So we swap queens. And actually, okay, and white's ended this a piece up, right? This should be game over being a piece up. So this was the key tactical battle. So let's go back to where we were. So it all started because of this discovered attack on this queen. He took a pawn, not wrong with taking a pawn, but Knight G6. And he could have easily here just saved his queen if he wanted to. He could have just gone maybe like Queen D8, accepted Knight takes Rook, and then okay, just taking the knight back. Let's suppose we do Queen takes Knight. And here Black would have a knight and a pawn against the Rook. Maybe not that bad. You can play this position on. But he wasn't up for that. He actually played Bishop D6 and blocked the attack on his queen. The problem with this move is it allowed this Knight B5 move to attack both the queen and bishop, but it was currently being stopped by this knight, so Welsh Tiger went Rook takes Knight, expecting Welsh Wayne to just take the Rook. When Knight B5 here looks like it's cleaning up the business, although it's not completely... Although, yeah, that is going to... Well, maybe that's not actually completely sound, actually, but we've got a problem with where to put our queen. Because the problem is that we put our queen back to d8, knight takes bishop happens, and if you take this knight back, take back towards the center, then we actually have knight takes bishop at the end. But the problem is there's not really a good square to put the queen, because we would go queen here. Oh, queen now would actually be even better because we pin the knight to the queen, so that would be good. So this could have been bishop takes bishop, pawn takes knight, and then you win the exchange back. No, let's use the king. Although maybe the rook's better. You could have had this, and Welsh Esports doing fine there. So actually, but instead he goes and does pawn takes knight, and he takes away from the center, which is unnatural. I'm normally taken towards the center in this one. So this is just something natural that I would do, because now if we ever take on d5, it's going to be check on the king. So he takes the knight, and then the knight comes in, and then queen c6 is a beautiful move to pin here. We have a suggestion in the chat of bishop c6 as well. And if knight takes queen, bishop takes... I mean, I've got no idea what's actually happening here. So actually, material at the moment is black is pawn up. He ends up losing a piece and will probably lose the game quite comfortably. So white's going to win again. But here in this position, what actually happens after bishop c6? I guess you have to take the queen. You could do bishop takes bishop. So let's just take the queen first of all. So take the queen, they take our queen. Now we have a choice. We probably want to do rook takes bishop because we want to save our rook. Though we could do bishop takes bishop as well, but rook takes bishop makes sense. And then it's black's turn. Black can't take anything. So therefore white's just a piece up. So bishop c6 doesn't look like it saves the day, I'm afraid, because you just take it back. And that would be it. Let's join the game anyway, just to see how it finishes. Here we are, Welsh Tiger cleaning up 2 pieces up. So Costa Reese, if you are watching yet, he takes the walkover win against Tribal Esports, not against 61, who has played before, by the way. Probably just forgot, I'm afraid, and he might even want to join us next week, but he is also happy to stand out. Welsh Wayne giving that one up, and I think they've just got one more game to play, if I'm not mistaken. And it's 3-0 up for the Welsh Tiger. But yeah, this is a fascinating game here. This middle game frame, knight b5. Can black get out of this after knight b5? What can he do? So just bishop c6, take the queen, take the bishop. And the problem is it's all defended. So can he get out of this? I can't see a way. You guys played all 4? I see some messages in the chat from these 2 players, and it's 4-0, was it? Well, I only got 3 games through. So yeah, so they've because it's 3-0. I think it's ended. But so I've just told them that game points do matter here. So whether you win 4-0 or 3-1 could actually be a difference as to which promotion bracket you actually go into in the end. Okay, hang on. Don't send invite. Don't send invite. Don't challenge. Hang on a minute. I'm just gonna have to do. Okay, I'll restart that. I'm just gonna do a little bit of working out here. Hang on a minute. Welsh Tiger, Welsh Wayne. Okay, so that one. So if I do that, and then just put it there for a second, and then I want round. That's round 2.4 we want. Okay, so causing me things to Causing me extra work, guys. Shouldn't be allowed. Maybe I should dock some points for causing me extra work. Okay, hopefully I've just started it. It should have just pulled through. There we are. Okay, and they started some moves. Fantastic. Okay, great. Have they actually started? Please don't tell me that they've sent a challenge. And we still have some issues with this last game. I guess we could also say that either somebody can't count from one of you two, somebody can't count, and somebody doesn't know the rules and you need to play all four. There we go. That's better. You're playing now. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. I mean, obviously, the Welsh Tigers 3-0 up already. Massive rating advantage. But we're not going to assume that it will win 4-0. And actually, I would love to see Welsh Wayne actually get half a point on the board. This is his moment. While that game is just getting into the throes of it, let's just go and have a look what happened in Group B, because we do have some results in. So if I flip to Group B here, this is where we had most of the matches tonight, which is where it was quite competitive. So we have here, how can I scroll down here? Quite a lot of scrolling bars, isn't there? There we go. So we can see here that Decode of the Wizards has won both of his matches, one on the 3.5 half and one on the 4-0. He takes the lead, 7.5 game points for the Wizards. Dragons RFC, Devanch Gala, won his second match but lost his first match to Marine of the Pirates, who that went to Armageddon. That was a fantastic battle. And to be fair to Marine, that Rook takes E7 tactic was beautiful. He had a bye in round 2 and therefore will be joining us for 3 matches next week. We have the Puffin Singapore Sling on his debut, coming out and only getting half a point out of 8 games, but definitely had the opportunity to pull some games back against the Dragons RSC Devanch Gala there. Just a little bit more focus would have got him in. And maybe it was just these 2 matches against slightly tougher opposition. Maybe he had a bit of experience first coming into it. I think he's definitely going to pick up more points there. And then we also had Lightbringer coming in against Decode. Bit of a rating underdog there, and it being unfortunate losing 4-0 to the fast-playing Decode of the Wizards. We've got in Group A, a little bit different. We had 2 matches from Tribal Esports Not a Game 61 not happen, and therefore you see them at the bottom of the leaderboard with not many games being played. We also had the Wolfhounds Fad, new player coming in. Would have liked to have seen him play all 4 games, but played 2 games, lost, and then didn't play any more. So that would have been a win for Costa Royce of the Artists. I'll change that name as well so it shows up as the Artists later on. But the Costa Royce is a fantastic little addition to the tournament and stepping in for Ethan RJ, who's stuck on the plane. So this will show as the Artists later on. And also had a walkover win against Tribal Esports. The match that we're watching now is pretty much the only competitive, or the second competitive match in Group A, which was the Welsh Tiger against Welsh Wayne. We can see here that there is Welsh Tigers 3-0 up. And if we click on the board, we'll be able to go straight to it. But let's just go to the games here. Okay, let's go to the dashboard. Okay, and then we want to go to Ponies against Sea Dragons. There we go. And let me just scroll down a second. Here we are. And we can see, let's hope that Welsh Wayne can do well. He's played some good chess, you know. He actually has. You can learn from that in the previous game that playing B6 and Bishop B7 was just a little bit too much. And just that small detail. Maybe if you're playing against people of a similar rating, you're not going to get punished. But against a FIDE master, you have to be so precise. You have to be absolutely critical here. So let's have a look here. Rook FD8. Okay, sensible chess here. Sensible chess from both sides. Just notice how a little bit more aggressively placed Sea Dragons, Welsh Tigers pieces are. His queen's a bit further forward. His bishop's on the long diagonal. This knight's back on C2, whereas this knight's back on F6. And It's just a little bit different. But Welsh Wain's got great chances here. Let's just have a look what's going on in the chat. Yeah, some fantastic games. Fantastic games gone on tonight. And do you know what? I look forward to next Friday where we're here for an extra round. We've got 3. This is only 2 rounds today. Next Friday, we're going to have three more rounds, causing me a bit of a headache, I should imagine, as we have more players. We'll sort out the defaults as well to make sure that we get all players playing and all teams represented. Yeah, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. I mean, here we only had 3 matches going on at the same time, and making sure that they all start, making sure people can count to 4 as well. I'll get my teacher voice out on you. And just this last one, actually. Go on, Welsh Wain. And the great thing about Welsh Wain is he did actually message me on chess.com a while ago to say, how do I get into chess? And I think he started to go to a local club. And I'm pretty sure that it was actually Tucson Carmoon who I told him to message because it was lived close to him, who actually played for the Pit Ponies and maybe wanted to play for the Pit Ponies again. Yeah, no, that's the right idea. So the Welsh Wain of the Pit Ponies here is having a great time playing against a FIDE master. I mean, that's great. But yeah, it's much better to start with 2 rounds today, and we'll do 3 rounds next week. Because, like things, for example, one of the things that was my fault at the start, I forgot to tell people to be in chess.com live. I just told them to be in chess.com. One of the rules or the points that I forgot from last time out. So that's on me. Apologies. But we got everything else sorted, and we'll figure out some of the when we've got a late stand-in. I know how to change the names now as well, and we'll discuss what to have these names as. I wonder if it works the same with having 2 people play for a different team. Look, okay, so a little bit of... I actually really like what Welsh Wain's done here. He's actually, even though the knight's back on c2, it's still not bad, but he's actually just cleared his queen onto a much safer square. These 2 bishops are fighting on these diagonals. So that's really good. Okay, my diagonal was a bit off there. There we go. And you know what? I think what he's doing is he says, I'm going to get to this position, and I'm just going to be fine here. I'm just going to be fine. I'm just going to go back to look at the start of this game. I've just noticed something that might be a little bit interesting. So after e4, a6, okay. I'm pretty sure this happened in front of me, but Welsh Tiger here is maybe just playing a little bit of a... it's not trolling. It is a serious opening. Actually, a6 was played by Tony Miles, English Grandmaster Tony Miles, when he was playing against the world champion Anatoly Karpov, who was playing with the white pieces. This is like, we're talking like, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago now, 50 years ago maybe even, I don't know how long ago it was. It was a long time ago. And he actually won the game as black. I don't know if Karpov was the world champion at the time or not. I need to find out some more information about this. So this a6 move is not what I want people to copy at home. Do not do this. This is the Welsh Tiger maybe playing a different opening, having a bit of fun with his opening here. He's obviously got a clear rating favourite, over 1,000 points against Welsh Wain. So it is a serious opening, though. You still have to treat it seriously. And that's why we see here that he's not used any opening theories to win the game, which is probably quite nice of him, actually, because he would know how to play it a bit better. And actually, though, they both got the pieces out. Welsh Wain's got every chance here in this position. And here come the exchanges, and it's who's going to manage these better, who's going to better their endgame. Okay, right, so Welsh Wain is up for a fight. I mean, like, knight takes knight, right? The easiest thing to do here, easiest thing in the world, you could just do queen takes knight, right? You don't have to make it complicated. Chess is hard enough as it is. Why make it any harder? But Welsh Wain's just like, do you know what? I'll take the bishop instead. And this just might give the Tiger an opportunity here. He does knight takes, and then, okay, he recaptures with the pawn. I would not have done that, because now you see how these 2 pawns here are split away from the pawn on e3. The pawn on e3 is now just a little bit weak. He's got an isolated pawn, and immediately the Tiger senses, he smells blood. The Tiger does. The pawn on e3 is under attack. The pawn on b2 is under attack. The queen's defending them both at the moment, so they're fine. But these are going to become targets, and I believe that Welsh Wayne's done this because he wants the F-file, but he's not going to get down on the F-file there. It might look nice, but it's not going to be the best thing. So here, was there anything wrong with queen takes? What was wrong with queen takes? Nothing. So this is just a little bit of understanding about weakening your pawns here. Unnecessary weakening doesn't lose the game. Still all to play for. But I would say that that's advantage Welsh Tiger now. And you see just a few tactics starting to appear. The queen is now looking down this way. The king's behind it on the same diagonal. There's a dark square bishop coming in as well. The rooks are, if any queens get exchanged, a rook come down to d2. Oh, that looks like it could happen. Although the knight can move back to stop it, so we're okay there. This is just the start of where, oh, he's gone knight f5 and he's just banged in rook d2. Rook on the second rank here. Absolutely devastating across here. That's exactly where you want your rooks. Got to be careful though. There's one pawn gone. As Welsh Wayne gets down to 30 seconds left on his clock. He was doing so well. But he made it complicated. It's chess is hard enough. Don't make it any harder. Let's just put it this way. We don't play chess because it's easy, do we? We play it because it's rock hard. And here we see some exchanges. And the tiger, to be honest, the tiger could be confident just being a pawn up. It's not the extra pawn that's causing him to have confidence here, though. It's the fact that his knight here on c4 is untouchable now. The b pawn gone, it can't get kicked away. So this move's impossible. Welsh Wayne's happy to... Oh, hang on, what? Did that actually get played? No. Oh, that's just unfortunate. I think this is just a pure blunder. Queen d1 played here, and that's just a shame, really. Although it was going in one direction, I'm afraid, at this stage. But you're doing so well. Doing ever so well in this game. It's just the time, and unfortunately that's going to be game. Yeah, well, it's all experience. And the one thing, okay, you're not expected to get anything when you play against the FIDE Master rated 25-55 against the 1470. We expect a 4-0. You can look back over these games and say, what can I learn from these? And obviously some of these things will be in the report that I write on the blog. You can watch back this stream and see what's going on. But okay, a Welsh Tiger seals a 4-0 victory. And did play round one as well, the Tiger. Let's go back to the... so Group B is finalised for this evening, and that's all of the games finished. So let's just have a quick look at the results before we go over. So you see Tiger. Okay, nobody's... So actually it will be the artists led by Costa Royce today. Ethan RJ should step back in next week, who's got 2 victories. So they'll actually move... There'll be 2 4-0s. So they'll go on to 8 points and two match wins. And Sea Dragons Welsh Tiger will be just behind him. He only played 1 match tonight, won 4-0, which was good for him. Pit Ponies got a victory on the board, a walkover victory. Welsh Wayne before going down to the Welsh Tiger. Tribal Esports didn't show up, and a Fard of the Wolfhounds lost 2 games and then left, but then had a bye. So hopefully we see him next week as well. So this is it's looking like, I mean, the top 2 players here. Sea Dragons, who've got Welsh Tiger, a FIDE Master. Artists have got Costa Royce, but then also Ethan RJ, last season's champions, to come in. Looks like those 2 are probably going to hog those top 2 spots. Hit Ponies, Welsh Wayne could get 3rd, depending really what happens to Farda the Wolfhounds and who comes into Tribal Esports. If Not Against 61 does not participate anymore. But we'll have a look to how that goes. We look over to Group B, just as a bit of a final look here, and this is where all the games were this evening. Most of our focus was here. We had some fantastic matchups. Leading at the top, though, is Decode of the Wizards. 7.5 game points, 4-0 victory over the Goats. Lightbringer, I'm afraid, for his only match. He was the rating underdog, though, but played some good chess. And then he had a 3.5 half victory against Singapore Sling of the Puffins. New player coming in. I think with a bit more experience, he'd do much better, but Singapore Sling also lost 4-0 to new player Devansh Gala of the Dragons RFC. Who I think he could have done so much better in those games. And also the match, probably the match of the night, was Marine of the Pirates stepping out of the shadow of Tutankhamun and the Pit Ponies coming in to play against Dragons RFC's Devansh Gala, a new player. It was 2-2, and then at the end they had an Armageddon, which was a really nice checkmate and some fantastic play by Marine. So Jukesy's been in the chat too. That's probably my match of the night. Round 1, couldn't have asked for a better match there. And hopefully I want to see those two players play again, because I think it's going to continue to be close here. And really, it's between these top 3 teams, I think, as to who's going to finish in spots 1 and 2. And actually, spots 3, 4, and 5, that could go to anybody. That's going to be really close. We know Lightbringer's going to find it tough, but if he does get knocked out, the positive thing is he can join us actually on the commentary in 2 weeks' time. So maybe that's a positive for you there, Luke, as well. All right, everybody, thanks very much for joining us. We've had, obviously, a great start here for Season 3 of Chess, but Season 11 of the Welsh Esports League. Really happy to be part of it. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. If you're watching on record as well, try and take part. And obviously we'll get the blog out soon as well on chess.com for you to read and to see what we can do. So give me a day or so to do that. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.